It's Al Cole from CBS Radio, host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction, cluing you in that in our 21st century, I'll tell you, products and services are sold through video. That's right, so sell it through video at Al Cole Enterprises and SAG 14 Production Company. You got it, and right now you got it too. Enjoy another outstanding audio clip from our international guest list featuring my son, the fantastic Benji Cole, on People of Distinction.
And on the line with us today, we have Kim Westrup. We'll be discussing his book, The Bridge Committee, available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And I will say, Kim was brought to People of Distinction today by some of the best movers in the business. Ingress Advertising Publishing. If you have a book that you'd like moved, well, move it to Ingress. You can find them at ingressadvertising.com. And guys, listen, it is such an honor to have Kim here on the line with us because his book we're going to be discussing today, The Bridge Committee, is such an amazing novel with really a fantastic message behind it and underneath it all. Guys, listen, it's a fictional narrative, okay? It's a fictitious story, but the underlying message is something that I know for myself growing up was something that I can absolutely relate to. And I'm so glad that we have Kim here on the line to really articulate his point of view and his perspective, because he's going to be able to do it much better than I ever could. So without further ado, Kim, let's jump right in. The Bridge Committee. Tell us about your book.
Well, the name, the Bridge Committee, was kind of a little name I gave to the group of kids who always hung around a bridge, a physical bridge, which crossed over just a sewer drain, a storm sewer drain. They hung around down there because they could see anybody who was coming and throw things in the water that needed to be thrown in the water. But I didn't want to call them druggers or druggies or some of the other words that were prevalent at that time. Give them a distinguished sounding name, the Bridge Committee, and go from there. So that's where the title for the book came from. And we just always tried to have a good time in class. They knew the boundaries, but they would come in after class, and I enjoyed that. They even found out where I lived, and lots of them from time to time would come to my house, and we'd just sit and talk. So it was very rewarding to me. It wasn't always successful, but it was rewarding.
Fantastic. Kim, next question that I'd love to get into, and thank you so much because you gave us the brief synopsis. You went into the title as well. So now we have a more proper understanding, and we appreciate that. Now, let's talk about inspiration. Now, of course, as you know, inspiration can take many forms, right? So A, what inspired you to write this particular novel? And then B, of course, you talk about your background in education. What caused you to switch from the education route to a creative journey of this magnitude and become a writer?
Okay, that's a lot of questions. One thing I would have to say is for quite a while I was doing both. I was teaching and I started writing this book. I pointed out, I think, that it lay dormant there for a number of years, but I was still teaching. Now, when I got to the point where I realized, I guess due to my age, that I was not having as much fun as I used to. Kids had begun to change a little bit with the advent of cell phones and games and such as that. I think it's terrible what that's doing to kids, but we can't do anything about it. So that's when I decided to quit teaching, and I moved here to what's called the Lake of the Ozarks, which is a recreational area, a vacation area, and I bought a mobile home park, and that's what I run now. I'm 82 years old, so I've lived long enough to see the change in children and parents, particularly regarding the drug problem, if that's the word. I tried to deal with it at the time because it was happening right there with kids that I respected, except for the fact that they just did too much drugs.
Absolutely.
So, but as to why I wrote the book, it's not that exciting. It's just something inside of me asked the question, could I actually write a book? as I say, with all this treasure of personalities to deal with, you never run out of people to include, just by mixing them together.
It's Al Cole from CBS Radio, host of the syndicated talk show People of Distinction, cluing you in that in our 21st century, I'll tell you, products and services are sold through video. That's right, so sell it through video at Al Cole Enterprises and SAG 14 Production Company. You got it, and look forward to enjoying other outstanding audio clips from our international guest list featuring my son, the fantastic Benji Cole, on People of Distinction.